Well, guys, how's it going? So it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I just got done checking up on the gaming camera again. She's down to 74% of stupid battery life. So I don't know. This camera's gonna cost me a lot of fucking batteries over the next couple of months. So, ooh, don't hit the tractor tire. Almost hit the 15 there that time. So, yeah, came to check up on that and see what the cows are doing. I think they're still doing all right. So, yeah. So I seen another deer down again. This is like the third deer now I've seen down, but this one's a little. It seemed like a little baby deer. Like, I mean, not like so much of a baby, but you know, a couple of months old, or maybe a little older than that. I know it's laying in a stinking ditch. So I don't know what the fuck is going on over here. We got deer dying left and right, and then of course they're being ripped apart. So I don't know if there's something here in town that's taking them down, or what. I honestly don't know. So, but it's getting kind of old. It's getting to be kind of ridiculous. But what are you gonna do? You know. Probably should tell you there's probably too many deer around. So, but what are you gonna do? You know? Yeah, and I did hear a snowcat a few days ago. I see that they've been in our field a little bit. They're riding along the dike for whatever reasons, and they cut there. Still can't really get in the field though. I think there's I almost could make it there, but I think there's still too much snow right on the ramp. I'm not gonna. If I had Big Red up and running, it'd be a completely different story than I'd do it. But in this thing, I'm not gonna risk it. So I'll have to blaze a trail here on top of the dike just so I have a little bit of a place to drive. There's not much for snow on top of the dike. There actually is a drift right here, which is kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Doesn't look like it's that deep. So, well, that wasn't that deep, I guess. Problem is I'm going to have to back all the way up. I'm not going to be able to turn around up here, which is fine, but I've been hearing a lot of snowcatters the last few days, but I don't think they've been out in the field. There's somebody, like I said, running along the dike there, but I don't know who the hell they are. I don't see any tracks. And I don't know if they've been riding on the river or not. I honestly don't think the river's frozen enough for that, but I think they've been doing it. A lot of people are fucking retarded because they've been falling through. You go south a little ways in Minnesota, there's been people that have been falling through the river because they think, well, not so much the river too, but you know, like ponds and just whatever, right? People think that they can get through, and they can't. So they end up, they end up falling through either on foot or with their machines. So, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm backing up here, but I really don't rely on the backup camera too much for that because it's hard to tell exactly where you're at, especially on top of the dike. So you got to use the mirrors. It seems to work better for me, at least anyway. But yeah, so apparently, give you guys a flag update. They did pick one, but I don't know. I think they scratched it or scrapped it or whatever, because then now they got a different one now. Of course, I mean, people are still kind of pissed off, you know. Well, I think I could have. I'm not gonna risk it. People are just saying that they should have had a vote in it, and yada yada yada, and they don't believe that they got a say in it, really. Which I agree with. But I just kind of like how, people. Some people have to say the ridiculous freaking things they got to argue about. Like, I got a guy arguing with me. I think he lost. I think he finally realized that he's gonna lose that battle with me, because I haven't talked to him now for about, well, going on about 14 hours now since he last replied back to my comment. So, because I did say some things, and I guess people just didn't like it. And I did say that Minnesota should give me back my tax money. From the year 2009, which is when I, became, over the age of 18, and I started paying taxes, and yada, yada, yada. So, and it's true. I honestly think they should give me my money back. I know a lot of guys are going to disagree with me on that, but the thing is that if this is what my money's going to, the things that we did not ask for, then it's a waste. And you had dick asses on there, they're like, well, what do you think we should spend our money on? And there's one guy that has said that what he thought the money should be spent on, which was helping the homeless, getting people back in the hospitals, that are insane and actually need places like that. We can actually get down here. It's stuff like that, which is all, stuff that I pretty much agree with too. There's just some things that are more priority than a flag. And then there's a guy that was like, oh, well, we're long overdue, we're tired of it, we need a new flag. It doesn't matter if we need a new flag or not. I'm not like against the idea. Well, in a way, I guess I kind of am, but in a way is that we don't need it. Now is not the time to say, hey, we need a new flag. We just have bigger problems to deal with than this. Yes, we could be helping the homeless, upgrading schools, upgrading hospitals, and so on. There's a lot of other things that we could. The number one thing for me here is the border, and I don't think the people care. People down in the cities like Minneapolis, St. Paul, all those places, they're not going to care about the border crossing stuff because they don't live at a border. It's people like me that live at a border crossing, and it's a huge fucking problem. I'm sick and tired of being, put second or last or third or whatever. We're always just thrown under the fucking bus. And, nobody cares. It's just like, well, fuck you, So, I'm actually getting kind of fed up with it. I think it's, it's just time. It's time to solve real issues. Who cares if we're getting tired of it? It's the bottom line is, did we ask for it? Did we ask for a new flag? I don't remember ever asking for a new flag. I don't remember there ever even being a video being posted on YouTube, you know, like on the news channels or on their Facebook pages, saying, hey, should we get a new flag? There's a guy that does local news, you know, for my area and over here. Of course, not much happens here, so there's not really much to talk about. So he will branch out and go further away. But he does talk about stuff that happens here too. And if there was ever a discussion of, hey, should we come out with a new flag? You know, if those news channels would have talked about it, then he would have talked about it. So he didn't talk about it. So therefore, there was no video out there or anything saying, hey, should we make a new flag? And then apparently when the old flag, or well, the first new flag that was released, supposedly that flag had a legal seal put on it. I guess, I don't know what they mean by that. Some kind of a seal that has to be put on it. I guess just to claim that it's ours. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know nothing much about that, but that's what they're saying. That the guy said that there was a seal put on it, which was illegal, and that people didn't really get a you know, a vote in it. It's, well, of course we're never gonna get a vote in it, you know. So you know, that's why I'm fighting with people and I'm making my own videos. It's because we did not ask for it. I did not ask for it. So then they came up with a second new flag, which I guess apparently is the new flag now. Again, I think they still have to go through the processes of getting it sealed or whatever. I don't know. You know, it's all fancy talk for crap that I don't know, but it's all bullshit at the end of the day. Nobody asked for it. But you know, it's just it's a waste of money in my eyes. You know, and then what I forgot, I wanted to say this. The new flag that they picked out is kind of a copy. Some people say it's a copy of I think it's the gay pride flag. It's kind of a copy of that, but the colors are not there. It has Minnesota colors. And then there's some people saying that it's a copy of another country's flag that has that same design. So it kind of puts in my mind, and it puts into some other people's minds, that there are no Americans, you know, or Minnesota residents or whatever, that are even getting a say-so in this. It's most likely people from another country, because these flags don't even scream Minnesota. Should we get a new flag? Well, no, we don't need a new one, but if it's time for a new one, okay, well, then there should be some real, you know, Minnesota put in it. There's no Minnesota put in this. One fucking star, and the colors are supposed to, one is supposed to, I don't even know what words you want to use, but one is supposed to say that it's of flooding of the water of 10,000 lakes, because apparently we have 10,000 lakes here. So one is supposed to scream color of water, and then I thought the other one was supposed to scream snow, because we get snow here. Well, so does North Dakota. So do like 50 other fucking states. You know, I mean, I don't know, but the fact is that there was no, like, I mean, one, they didn't put the name Minnesota even on the flag, you know. And then somebody was saying that there is a, I don't even know how to pronounce this shit, but supposedly, like I want to use John Deere as an example. John Deere has the classic saying, nothing runs like a deer. That's their classic saying, because they were trying to change that too, but I don't think it ever stuck. Because they have a different one now, but John Deere has always been known for nothing runs like a deer. Well, Minnesota, the flag has something similar to that, but it still says, nice truck. It still says Minnesota, that saying, but it's not written in English. It's written in another language. So instead of pronouncing it Minnesota, like you would if you were American, you have to pronounce it in that language. Okay, well, nobody can speak that fucking language, you dumb shits. So therefore, it also screams to Americans or to Minnesotans that this flag, it was changed for aliens, illegals that are in our country illegally. And they're the ones that are getting a say-so in this. Well, of course they're getting a say-so in it, because as long as basically when they come here illegally, they have two options. Either you can, live in our country for free, but you have to vote for this and that and this, and we'll let you live here for free, or you will get sent back to where you come from. So apparently, so naturally these people are going to be like, okay, well, I'll vote for whatever you want me to vote for. I just want your house for free. I want food for free. I want tax. I don't want to have to pay taxes. I don't want to do any of that, but I want to live here for free. So that's what's going on. That's why there's so many votes for a new flag. It's because it's all done by aliens, illegals. It's not done by Minnesotans. It's not. They're all done by people that come into our country, or come in even into our state. It doesn't matter. If you come here illegally, you should not get a vote in this stuff. Because you're not even a U.S. citizen. You're not. So, but yet they get a vote in it, because as long as we pay for their shit, and they vote for stuff that we vote against, that's okay. So since the aliens get a vote in it, our vote doesn't matter. That's how I see it. As long as the aliens vote, then fuck everybody else. That's basically how I see it. That's why the borders don't get fixed, because they want those fuckers over here, and they want them to vote and say, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and if you do this, we'll let you live here for free. We won't have you sent back. So that's how I see it, and I think that's how a lot of other people seeing it. That's how a lot of other people see it. So we have bigger problems than a flag. We really, really do. Who cares if the flag is old? So what? You don't see people fucking changing the American flag. That would probably never fly. I'm surprised that hasn't changed yet, which is, it's probably coming in the future. But I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. I didn't ask for it, and I'm pretty sure half of America, of Minnesota, did not ask for this. It's disappointing. I didn't even vote for one flag, because I didn't know there was a voting thing going on. Why didn't I vote? Because I didn't know there was a voting thing going on, because I was not told that there was a voting thing going on. Nobody talked about it. So my vote never got said. Well, I never would have voted for any of those stupid flags anyway, because they were all ugly as hell. So, but I never once, seen a news video saying, hey, it's time to vote, we want your vote, yada, yada, yada. I never got a letter in the mail saying, hey, do you want to vote for a new flag? There was nothing like that. I think that's why a lot of people are angry, because they didn't get an input. They didn't get a say in this. It was all done just strictly of Minnesota government and probably aliens. You know? So, but, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of people that have been arguing with me, and it's a joke. You know, I don't care if it's time for a new flag. That's not top priority. You know, and then I kind of think the reason why they kind of did this in a way is because they're trying to get around, or trying to avoid all this Trump bullshit, because, you know, Donald Trump is apparently trying to run for president again. But already in one U.S. state, how they can do this, I don't know, which I do think would be illegal as well, but they banned from Trump, even, like, they banned from people even voting in that state to vote for Trump, I guess. Something like that anyway, but I don't know how a state can ban somebody from running and getting voted as president in that state, but I guess whatever. But I think Minnesota was supposed to follow, apparently, but nothing ever really happened. But I think why it never really happened was because they were too busy focusing on this flag bullshit. This flag bullshit was their excuse to kind of get out of it, in my opinion. But I mean, I guess I'm just a retarded person. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I guess I see bullshit when I see it, but I guess nobody else sees it. So when I talk the truth, you know, then I get called out. You know, our money could have went to so much better stuff than this. I mean, yeah, when you do the math and they use tax money, you know, and there's millions of people living in Minnesota. So, I mean, yeah, I probably paid for a tenth of that, you know, or a very small amount of that flag, but you still have to think about it that, you know, it's still a waste of money. You still have to put that tenth of a cent together with all of the other Minnesotans, and that still adds up to big dollars. You know, that still adds up, and that money could have went into something way, you know, way more better than that. It's still a waste of money, and it was a huge waste of time, and at the end we all still lost anyway. So I mean, to be honest, there's no sense of even fighting it. I mean, in a way, you should keep fighting, because if you don't fight, then they're going to come after you harder. They're going to make you do things that you don't want to do, which they already kind of are in a way, but that's the census bureau, you know. But they are going to start, you know, if you let them get away with one thing, then they're going to just keep pushing it, and then they're going to, you know, come after you for another thing, and then before that, you know, they're taking your house. Even though you are a U.S. citizen and you own your own property, they're going to come and take it from you. I mean, we as Americans, we have to draw the line at some point. You know, now you let them have a new flag. Okay, well, what's next that they're going to change? You know, and that it's going to cost even more money than what the flag costs to change. You know, that's how it happens. It's you change one thing, then they're going to want to change everything, and it's a snowball effect. You know, it's just one thing after another happens. Then, you know, I mean, there are other things, you know, that could be fixed, but they're not fixing it. You know, the only reason why I keep bringing up, you know, the border problem, because that's the number one problem here for us. That's the number one problem. You know, now if you go further south, if you go down to, you know, Minneapolis, St. Paul, okay, they have many more issues to deal with. They have homeless people. They have, you know, maybe hospitals that are not updated. You know, maybe there's schools that are not updated. Okay, well, let's get it done. You know, that's what needs to get done before we decide, okay, it's time for a new flag. You know, see, the thing is they're not putting lives first. You know, they're not putting lives first. My safety is at risk because I have aliens that cross the border, and they come through my land. you know, and they go through other people's land. They're just not mine, you know. There's other land, there's farmland all around me, and there's a border over here. That's the main one now. And there's one over here that's literally half a mile, the same distance as this one. This one is abandoned, this one is active, okay? This is the newer one. This is the one that they retired because they were diverting traffic, and it just made more sense to move it over there. So this one is abandoned. No one does anything with it anymore. That's a hot spot. That's actually where they're crossing most of them. And you know, I mean, I don't know. This is ridiculous. I mean, you would think that a lot of them would want to go into Canada for free healthcare and stuff like that, which is what they were doing. I think that's what they were mostly doing. You know, when Donald Trump first became president, they got scared of him, so they all fled to Canada. You know, but now since Trump's not president anymore, it's Joe Biden. They're less scared, but I think that there's something going on behind our backs that we don't know. That there's some kind of a message getting out to these aliens saying, hey, come back to the U.S. We'll take care of you. We'll let the U.S. citizens actually pay for your bullshit as long as you vote for what we want you to vote for. You know? So there's something fishy going on there, and they're just not saying it, obviously, because it's illegal and they're doing it behind our fucking back. But that's the U.S. government and that's the state governments, you know, and they're all hiding stuff behind our back. You know that. I know that. I was never told about a new flag, a possible new flag coming to Minnesota. It was just a boom. Let's get a new flag. You know, let's just get it done and be done with it. There was no discussions. There was nothing. You know. No, this country is just, I mean, it's just not the state of Minnesota. It's just not the Minnesota government. It's the whole goddamn country. We're all fucked. I mean, we're all getting, you know, fucked in the ass, and we're told to just do what we, you know, we're just told what to do. You know. That's why I feel so sorry for people. I mean, you can look it up on YouTube too. When people get those Census Bureau papers, I guess there's another one now. It's been out for years as well. I didn't even know it because I've never gotten one. But it's another Census Bureau thing. But I think it's called the American Community Service, I think. But it's basically the same thing. But from what I've been hearing, like I said, I haven't gotten one. I don't think I've ever gotten one. But apparently they do it every year, whereas the Census Bureau thing, that's every 10 years. But so why I haven't ever gotten one of those, I don't know. Maybe I did, I don't remember, but I honestly don't think I ever have. But they ask basically the same questions, and they get really personal. Even more personal than the Census Bureau. Like, they actually ask you how many times you've been married, how many times have you been divorced. You know, they ask how many bedrooms you have, how many toilets you have. You know, stupid questions. They really are just stupid questions, and it's really nobody's fucking business. They ask you how you heat your house. Where do you get your drinking water? Do you get it from the city, or do you get it from your own personal well? Like, does it matter? I don't see where, even when it comes to the Census Bureau thing, I don't get where this comes into play. Like, how this actually has a factor on anything. It's stupid. It's mind-blowing. The only reason why they have this fucking shit is because they want to know how many people are living in their house. So then, therefore, they can figure out how to space the money, how to spend the money to each, or how to give money to each state. You know, okay, I don't have a problem with that, you know, knowing how many people live in my house. You know, because yeah, I do want money to be, you know, given to the state, you know, at fairness. But to know how many toilets I have and how I heat my house and if I've been married and divorced, how many kids I have, what race I am, like, what the fuck does that matter? You know? It's just, they're ignorant questions is what they are. And nobody needs to know them. And I feel so bad for people that actually fill this crap out. My mom has done that too, and I get so irritated with her. I finally snapped at her the last time she filled out that form. I was like, don't you dare ever fucking fill one of those out again. You let me see that before you fucking fill it out. That's because she will literally sit there and answer every question. You know, the only thing they need to know is how many people are living in my house. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But to know how big my dick is, you know, and those type of stupid questions, it ain't none of your damn business. Oh, and then they ask, what's your income? You know, how much you make? What was your last job? How many months did you work there? You know, like, come on. It's ridiculous. I'm just so tired of it. You know, and they say, like, well, if you don't fill out the surveys, like, well, with the Census Bureau anyway, they originally used, well, they could back then anyway, they could fine you up to $5,000. But now I think that's dropped to only like $100. But nobody ever really gets, well, I should say, nobody has ever been fined by them. I think it happened once, but I think it was back in the 1970s. But I don't think, but it's never happened since then. And I think they realize that they really can't do that because they're not a law enforcement. They're not really, they don't have that type of power to be doing that. But they have that there though to scare you. That's what this is. It's a scare game. Because there are people out there that are dumb and they will fall for that bullshit. And of course I don't fall for it. Because I've done my homework on that. I've done my research on it. And it's all bullshit. It'll start off as that. And then 50 years from now, they're going to be like, well, how many shits a day do you take? You know, that's how it's going to go. So, now, a lot of people say that they don't even bother filling it out. You know, they just throw it in the trash. Which is fine. I mean, you do you. That's for sure. I'm not going to argue with it. I mean, either way, you're on my side. Either way. So, but, you know, the only thing that I would agree with, you know, is how many people live in your house. That's fine. I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me. Maybe it will later on down the road, but I mean, as of right now, it don't. Because really, it's just me and mother that live in that house. I mean, if I had a wife and I had kids, well, okay, you know, they're gonna want to know that. Which, I mean, I guess maybe if it ever goes down that road, I might find that more annoying, more private, you know, and maybe I won't want to even answer that question. But as of right now, it doesn't bother me. So. But a lot of people, you know, they actually will fill out that whole frickin' form. And then I think the American Community Service or Survey thing, that's a 46-page thing. 46 pages! Now, mind you, that's for more than one person, but, you know, I think it goes up to 6 people. Like, that's the limit. I mean, if you had more than that. No, I think it's 12. It's either 6 or 12. Like, that's the max of... I mean, if you have more than 12 people living in your house, I don't know what you're doing, but... You know, either you have a lot of kids or, you know, you must run some kind of a business then. Maybe you run an apartment building then. But, I mean... A normal family is going to have anywhere from 2... I'm just going to say 2 to 6 kids, but I mean, 6 is even a lot, but There are some families that would have way over that, but a normal family is about 2 to 6, 2 to 5, whatever, 2 to 4, whatever. It's a normal number. So, but it's just ridiculous, It's just like, I'm not gonna fill it out. It's garbage. So, but yeah, they even say themselves, the Census Bureau and the other fucktards. The only thing that they want to know, and they have to know it, even though they don't really need to know it, but they have to, because it helps them kind of, like I said, it helps with the spreading of money, so they know how to give each state money. They know how much to give, but it's just, I don't know. It ain't right, but what are you gonna do? In a way, like I said, I'm okay with it, but to answer all those questions, it ain't gonna happen. Not for me, it ain't. You want to know how many people are living in my house? Fine. 2. I need more questions. No, you're not getting that question. You're not getting that answer. You're not getting nothing. No. So, it's just ridiculous. That's the only thing that you need to know. And I know, like I said, a lot of people don't fill them out. The problem is that if you don't fill them out, then they will start sending people to your house. Which is, insane. And I've heard some horror stories about, even the census people coming to your house. Which are, the things that they did were technically illegal and they should have been arrested for it, but they never were, because they work for the government. So, but, I mean, I don't know. I think many years ago, like I said, when it would have been, I think it would have been the one in 2010. It had to have been. I think that was the one that mother, because the mother filled out the 2021 too, which kind of pissed me off. But the 2010 one, I remember that she did fill it out and then she mailed it off, right? Okay, well, she did her job. She's done now, right? Okay. They started coming to my doorstep. And they would not stop. And then the first time, I was like, we told the girl, I was like, well, we did fill it out, and we gave her information as well. Thinking, okay, well, maybe if we give it to her, well, then, okay, then they'll move on, right? They didn't. They started coming back more and more and more and more and more. When the second person showed up, we were a little irritated. And then by the third time, we pretty much just said, you know what, we're done. It's like, we filled out the paperwork. If you cannot figure it, if you can't find that information, that's not my problem. How was you guys dropped the ball, which, come to find out, it sounds like in 2020 they did drop the ball a little bit. But whatever. I mean, it's just a waste of time. I honestly feel like that they could do a better job, keeping track of people to help get the money spread out properly. If you just asked the one question and the one question only, how many people are living in your house? Then you would write that down. Bye. Okay. If I got a postcard in the mail from them and it just said, we would like to know how many people are living in your house, that's it. You can either fill out this little card or go online, whatever. Okay, great. Their job would be a lot easier. I feel like they're going through all my private information to just see what they can do, to fuck with us in some way or another. Maybe they're gonna fuck with our country, or fuck with our state, or whatever. There's got to be some kind of dirtiness behind all this. To why you need to know more than just how many people are living in my house. You need to know if I'm a man or a woman, or if I'm a transgender, or what does that matter? I honestly think the only question that they don't ask, as far as I'm aware of, is what color eyes do you have? Which I'm sure eventually that's going to be coming too. But it's just stupid. So, and I'm guessing if you're a transgender or a she-male, whatever, you know, and you got one of those forms, I think you would have to click other, and then you'd have to fill it out yourself, you know, saying, well, I'm a goddamn transgender or whatever, right? Like, they don't have that really as an option, you know, male, female, transgender, or whatever. I don't think they have that. I think it's just man, woman, or other. Which I think if you use the word other, I would think that would be kind of disrespectful towards those people, you know. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know anybody that's transgender. I don't think there is anybody around here that I'm aware of. But I mean, I guess if there was, I mean, would you be offended by that question, you know? So, and then you would have to click other, and then you'd have to fill it out. Well, I'm a she-male or a transgender or whatever, right? It's like, that might be a little personal, you know? I feel like that's even to that, it's a personal question. You know, who cares if I have if I have whatever downstairs? It doesn't matter. It's none of your business. You know, it doesn't matter what color my eyes are. So, it doesn't matter what color my hair is, you know. But apparently to them, the main thing is that they want to know your race. If you're white, black, I guess Chinese, you know, if you're anything really. Well, I don't know what you would do if people ID'd themselves as more than one race. I mean, I'm not saying that's probably a thing. I don't know, but you know, that might be the next big thing to come around. Is, you know, they're a multi-race. Now that might actually be kind of a thing too, because if you think about it, if you're let's say a white guy and you're dating a Chinese girl and you have a mixed baby, obviously it's the same thing as international dating, I guess is what they call it. A white woman or a white man dates a black guy or girl or whatever, you know, that's international dating, and that's mixing two races together. I'm not really too sure what you would do there on the forms, how you would fill that out properly, you know. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't really study the damn things because I don't really give a shit, you know. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody that's transgender or, you know, mixed race or whatever. I just don't pay attention to that kind of stuff on those forums because it's all a joke. It's a joke, and honestly I think it's kind of an embarrassment to our country. I honestly don't even know of any other countries that do that kind of stuff. And if they did, they would get a chewing out. Praying two-wheel drive works. Come on, Blazer. Yeah. No four-wheel drive needed. How you doing? So, I don't know. It really is just a joke. This whole system is fucked up and needs to be shut down. What are you gonna do? You know, I mean, like I said, some people, I mean, I honestly feel bad for those that actually do fill out that form. I mean, maybe some people find that entertaining, or they find it fun, or secretly it turns them on. I mean, I don't know, but it's just the fact that you're giving out your private information to a piece of shit that you probably don't even know. You most likely don't know. And then you don't know where that information's going from there. They say that they don't give it out to anybody else. Yeah, that's what Facebook says too. And here they've been leaking out my private information for years. Everybody. You know, our stuff is getting leaked out. So it's just a joke. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of our identity being stolen, and the government just laughs it off and just says, well, I don't know what to tell you. You know, but I don't know. It's all just a joke. So what do? You know, we have to fucking protect ourselves. There's, you know, I mean, that's another thing too. The government says, oh, well, you can trust us. We are your friend. No, you're not. You're a thief. That's what you are. You sit there and say, yeah, we're gonna, you know, do this and do that, but you haven't. All you do is steal my shit, give it to other fucking countries, and they can steal my shit, steal my identity, and make money off of me that I'm not even getting a chunk of it, you know. So, no, it's just, no. No, I will not fill out those forms, you know. I mean, I will fill out the one question, you know, how many people live in your house. I'm fine with that, but I'm not fine with everything else. That's all private. You don't need to know it. So, it's ridiculous. But like I said, I feel sorry for those that do actually fill it out. You know, because they are so brainwashed to everything. But, I mean, you can't fix stupid. You can only tell them what you think, and then if they want to believe it, fine. If they don't, well, whatever. I'm one of those type of people that if I see bullshit, I'm going to call you out on it. And if there's questions that I disagree with, you know, that I don't think you need to know, well, then I'm not going to fill it out. So, and I hate the fact that they're fucking using that. Well, it's on their paperwork there. It says that it's required by law for you to fill it out. Well, if that was the case, then half this country would have been arrested by now. I feel like that's kind of like abusing power. But I think they have to actually get that done by somebody, though. They don't do it themselves, but it's still an abuse of power, I think. But what do I know? I guess I'm just a retarded person, so I don't know any better than the rest of this country, but whatever. But no, I personally, I would not fill out those forms. I mean, because they're going to come to your door regardless. So fuck them. Just let them come to your door and just be like, well, there's 2 people living here. You can go now. And tell the rest of your damn fucktards to not come to my door, because I will not be answering the door. Save yourself the bullshit and the time and my money, and stay the hell away from my house. Like I said, that, well, I was going to say that one lady had her privacy invaded because there was a person there that was a Census Bureau was wanting to talk to her, but she had her curtain open for the front door there or whatever, like a little side door or whatever, side glass, and she peered her head in. Well, that's invasion of people's privacy. Yeah, you should have kept the curtains closed, but, you know, some people like to have their curtains open during the day to get sunlight in. We don't live like fucking vampires. So, what do? You know? And there was another one where that guy, well, the girl said, no, I don't want to talk to you. And then the guy, she was going to shut the door. And then the guy stuck his foot right in the door, you know, denying her to be able to shut the door. That's highly illegal. You know, because I mean, that videos were well over 10 years old. But come on, that's bad. When you got to do stuff like that, you know, it's ridiculous. So, but anyways, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm done ranting. I'm home now, and trying to do that, I guess. I got some other things I want to get done, and yeah, so. Nice long video for you, but it is what it is. Shit happened and don't care for it. So, and I think I'm getting sick. I think I've been sick for a couple days now. It started in my freaking jaw. I thought I was having a tooth problem again, but it's feeling all right now, but there's still a little bit of pain there. But it started on this side, went over, it kept going back and forth, and then it stayed here. And then it somehow went up into my nose, so my whole left side of my nose, even yesterday, was hurting quite a bit. Oh, there's the mail girl. So, but yeah, that's So I might be coming down with something. I don't know. It's been like this for a couple days now. This is actually the best it's been. So maybe it's going away now. So whatever. But yeah, anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.